And we are here in Naples, Florida, just starting a sod job. We're going to be doing Floratam in the front and some Zoysia Sod in the back. So we want to go ahead and show you some before pictures here. You can see there was originally Floratam in the front. It got infested with some weeds due to lack of water and some heat stress, and you can see up over in this particular area there's some Bermuda grass that is embedded, so we're going to definitely have to eliminate that issue with that type of grass before we install anything else so it doesn't come back up. But this is what the front yard's looking like before we go ahead and start our preparation. Let's go and look at the back of the property. In the back of the property you can see some work has been done on the seawall over here. So this soil is all pretty loose. We're gonna bring in a truckload of topsoil and work that in along with this existing dirt along the seawall to get a good grade along the lines with this. And we're gonna go ahead and take down all of this grass here and make sure that we eliminate everything that is on top and the roots to allow the zoysia to establish. The zoysia is going to take a little bit longer, about 45 days, to have a full root system intact and taken to the ground. So we really want to make sure we do the prep work very well on the back of the property so we don't have any other types of weeds or grasses that are going to come up. And we're looking up front after the first cycle of our scalp, and you can see we got all of the loose grass and roots all pretty well under control. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and run a little spray cycle here and let it sit for about 7 days, get down into the roots, take care of that Bermuda grass, and we'll come back the day after with some topsoil and start grading and continue with our preparation of the sod. We are in the back of the property now as we span across. You can see that everything's scalped down. We're just going to go ahead and finish up spraying here to make sure that there's no roots or anything that are active, and get the dirt back on over here and prep it out and get ready for some sod. And we are back up here. We got the bobcat moving, just finishing up on here with the topsoil in the front. We're going ahead and bringing that in the backyard for some of that zoysia grass. See the front, this is after a week, is prepped pretty well. We're going to get some of this thatch and roots up here in the top, and we can go see what's going on in the back here. And we are now in the back of the property. We're seeing these 4x4s, which eventually is going to be a deck. It's going to be raised up into this area. We can see the topsoil is spread, and we're pretty much up against the seawall. And what we're going to do is hopefully get some rain here. It's overcast and starting to drizzle, but get some of this topsoil mixed in with the regular sand that's here, and then we're going to come back next week and rake out and kind of do our final grade here, run the sprinklers before the sod installation, and go ahead and lay down some zoysia and some shell. We are in the front of the property here. As you can see, we got some piles of grass here that are going to have to be taken up. We've got no weeds or grass in here. Everything's pretty barren with dirt. A couple last piles to pick up. We're going to do a final rake and water everything down. Now on the back of the property, we can see after grading here with the bobcat and leveling everything out, sloping out towards the water, and have a little deck being constructed over here with our new shell beds that you can see are cut up. It's going to be a little rounded corner up over here. Some new muley grass. And I'm going to have to go ahead and clean up a little bit back here and do another final rake, water down this soil, and this is where the zoysia grass is going to be. And here we are in the front of the property. We can see everything is raked and graded out. We're going to go ahead and run the sprinklers and moisten up the soil so that those roots for that Floratam is going to take really well. And we're just waiting on for the sod truck. We are going to rock and roll from there. So we're going to start seeing the true artistry of the landscape work here. This is the sod of the future for Southwest Florida. As we see the zoysia that's going to be installed in the back, we notice that it's a really light green and fresh cut, ready to be installed. That's the way we like it. A lot of excellent green properties to it that we'll go into a little further upon the installation. And we're going ahead, you see we have the Floratam in place in the front, and we're going ahead and just wetting down the soil here to replicate the conditions at the sod farm. We want to go ahead and lay all of our Floratam on nice wet soil that's loosened up and have it established quick, which should be about 21 days, you'd say, with Floratam. We're up at the front looking at the finished Floratam, all the beds cut out over here. As we pan across the front of the house, see we got a little limb to trim there from that white bird of paradise. When we look over here to the other side, we can see along the driveway how this comes on back and meets up with the zoysia. We'll have a little shell perimeter in there to separate the two varieties. The zoysia grows by rhizomes and will spread out, but the Floratam is a dominant sod over it, so never put Floratam right up to zoysia grass, because eventually the Floratam will go ahead and take over the zoysia. You can see the sprinklers pumping up now, getting everything watered down. Front of the property here, absolutely incredible. A nice beefed up edge here along the sidewalk. We like to maintain our Floratam at about 5 inches, nice and thick, full. Promote some strong root growth, help suffocate those weeds in the middle of the property, and taking those procedures, fertilizing right, and using your insecticides at the right time will give you a long-term curb appeal. And we are starting back from the corner of the property with the zoysia all complete and cut in. You can see it's coming right up to the perimeter of the deck over here as we pan across, right up against the seawall. You can see along the pavers, and we got our bed cut out here with the shell. Absolutely fantastic for small children, people that spend a lot of times outdoors and like to have soft grass to walk on. And here is a pan of the finished zoysia in the back of the property. See, all the beds are cut in and rounded out pretty good. Take a look up over here. It's cut around the perimeter of this line, and we created a little peninsula that's going back and around the fruit tree and right up against the deck, which still has a little bit of work to be done on the back end. Right up along the seawall, and we added a couple tropical plants in here, some bromeliads, Dracaena colorama, society garlic, and petrocroton, and just kind of get some brighter colors in here and brighten it up against that shell, and add a little tropical plant element to the mix. And here we have the view from the water as we pan around. Beautiful zoysia throughout. This is going to be maintained a little bit lower than your traditional sods that you use here in Florida, your traditional Floratams and St. Augustines and Bahia. We're going to want to cut the zoysia grass around 2.5 to 3 inches